Hey all, 118 Seth Shadow here. So the BCS for California Day 1 has ended, with Shadowverse being on Saturday. I haven't actually seen any news yet for any of the results, so unfortunately I won't be covering anything of that sort. Although the one thing I did hear is that the number of players that they had was 80, in comparison to Standard Vanguard, which was on the same day, which apparently had over 400, or at the very least over 350. That is a talking point that I had mentioned some time back about now that we are in singles competitive format, there's going to be a lot of conflict in terms of just how much Shadowverse's competitive scene can grow and just how much we'll see at the regionals, because there's going to be a lot of competition between Wise Schwartz and Cardfight Vanguard. So we'll have to see just how it goes forward from here on out. Numbers are going to be a pretty important factor when it comes to just how good the longevity of this game is going to be in comparison to the others. But let's go ahead and get into today's Market Watch. So I'm going to start with Amata's Fairy Blader. Forest Fairy is still a popular deck with set 6, and given what we saw at the Grand Showdown, it is one of the more popular decks that appeared in the top 8 as well. The card is down to 6 listings on its regular legendary, with a base of 11.25 as the base price, and the market price is almost 9.50. When it comes to what's available though, they're mostly around $12, but not too many copies amongst all the listings that are currently available. There's also Agnes Tachyon, which progressively will continue to be a tech option for most rune decks, and still a really strong option. And now that Uma Musume has been confirmed to have a second collaboration set coming up in Japan, this is another one to keep your eye out for as well. Right now, the base price is almost $30, which honestly, this card has been one of the most expensive cards in the game and really hasn't dropped off. Market price is currently around $29, and in terms of availability right now, we're looking at $30 pretty much across the board for the base listings. 31 when you start to consider shipping and handling as well. Vibe Car, which was in the winning Disdain Dragon deck for the Grand Showdown, is starting to run out of quantities on its base legendary. $9 to $10 right now, and then the market price is currently around $7.50. And when it comes to the listings that are currently available, we're looking at $10, $11, and then eventually $15 for this card. It is a neutral card, so it can be played in more than just Disdain Dragon, which can also contribute to its price. But with Idol Masters coming up, we're going to see just how the meta shifts with that in mind. Also, just a note, I was covering Philne last time, and it looks like the base legendary is now out of stock as well. The foil version of Disciple of Disdain, my mistake, is down to one listing that's at $25 right now. The market price has been moving upward and is now about $8.30. And overall, when we take a look at how it's been selling, sparsely, given that we don't see as many foils, and they've been selling for at least $6, and we're seeing them at around $15 in terms of the sales. This is also one of the more expensive silvers to pick up from set 6, but even saying so, that silver has been going down in value recently. The foil of Servant of Disdain, which is also part of the Disdain engine. This one is currently cheaper, but still only has 2 listings on the market, starting at $4 on a market price of around $4, and currently the only listings are at $4 right now. Disdainful Rendering, which is a spell of the Disdain engine. The foil version of this card is currently at around $11, but this one has a lot more listings on the market. 11 listings to start off with right now. And when it comes to availability, they're mostly around $11, and consolidation also seems to be around $11. Granted, that consolidation is just 7 copies in one listing right now. The foil of Thundering Roar for Abysscraft. This is a 2-point spell, and Right now, it's currently at $8 to pick up base. Market price is just about $7. But there are only 2 listings available at 8 to 9, and then you've got to add shipping on each of those as well, which further increases the value of this foil. Another foil for discard or Silence Abyss is Silent Purge. The foil of this one has a lot of quantities that are available right now. $3 for the base price and 13 listings, but the market price is $4.70, so closer to $5, although that market price has been decreasing from over $5. In terms of availability, they're mostly consolidated around $5, but that's not too many listings available. Overall, though, we're looking at $4 to $5 for this foil. Surefire Bullet has been seeing some buyouts as well as additional sales, where now we only have the Reign of Bahamut Set 2 version available at a base price of almost $7. 8 listings available there, and the market price is $3. But the promo that you got from its showdown is now out of stock at a market price of almost $4.50. And there are no copies of the Glory Finder reprint available right now. That one has a market price of $2. But again, this card has been seeing some movement, so I would be careful. It is a generic neutral, so it can be played in most decks. And for its quick play capability, it's great for control. Dragon Oracle, currently with one of its 2 only listings being the starter deck version. This one has been jumping around in market price, where it got over $7 and now it's closer to $6.31 in terms of its market price. Overall, the card's base listing is starting at $4, but there are 17 listings available right now, and there are lots of copies that are available closer to $5, $6 at this point. If we make a comparison to if it's worth buying the actual deck set, remember that the Rowan Leader card also comes with it, which is currently only at 2 listings and $5. So if you're just getting into the game, well, Leader cards are starting to pick up because of the worth of the starter decks also starting to go higher and run out. I don't think we've been having any reprints of any of the starter decks, so that's going to make it harder for new players to get in as well. Right now, the starter deck for Set 4 has a base price of almost $29 and 4 listings on TCG Player, and a market price that's $24.50, or at least around there. Playful Necromancer, which comes out of the Abyss starter deck. This one is currently at $10 right now for its base price and only 5 listings. However, we haven't really seen many sales of this one. It has sold as high as $10, but the market price is currently closer to $3.50. So it's hard to say that we'll actually see a lot more sales of this card, especially since Sanguine's probably not going to see as much play as we go forward. And in terms of what's been selling, I guess the last sale was actually closer to mid-September, more so the beginning of September, and that was the only $10 sale that we've seen. Otherwise, it has sold for $3 to $4, so at the very least it holds on that front. But given the high price of the base price on TCG Player for this starter deck, it's still technically better to pick this up, given that you will also get the Luna Leader, and also cards like Undying Resentment and technically Lesser Mummy, but Lesser Mummy has been getting back on the market for rather cheap. I would imagine Playful Necromancer will eventually go back down as we start to see variations on Abyss. And last but not least, though, is Vania Vampire Princess, which I've been calling out this one's buyout for some time now, and it looks like it is starting to happen this time, where the base price we saw is $1.90, but the base overall value is now closer to $5. There are 5 listings left on this legendary, and consolidation is now getting closer towards $11. Now, I wouldn't imagine that this would sell out that quickly. We still have to wait until Set 9 for vampires to really take off, and as far as I'm aware, Set 9 will come after the BCS circuit, but Yeah, it will be coming after the BCS circuit for us, so it won't be relevant for this circuit. In any case, when it comes to the other ones, the Super Legendary is currently at around $7, and then if you want to pick up the Ultimate Rare right now, that's at least $130 right now. If you want the Japanese version of this Ultimate, that exists as well for $74, but again, you cannot play this in competitive tournaments over here. You would have to play it in Japan. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.